Today I'm diving deep into my top 47 tricks and tips for the Steam Deck. From must-have accessories like backpacks, controllers, and battery solutions, to creating the ultimate portable laptop setup, I've got you covered. Plus some of my favorite software hotkeys and other essentials that I've discovered over the years of using and loving my Steam Deck. Let's get started. The very first thing you're gonna wanna do with your brand new Steam Deck is get a screen protector. You don't wanna have any scratches on your beautiful OLED screen. Nice and simple, just put it on. Make sure all your games are up to date, especially if you're gonna be traveling somewhere and might not have any Wi-Fi. Another good practice is putting it into airplane mode before leaving on your trip and launching the games, just to ensure that you're not gonna get in the situation where a game won't launch because you don't have access to Wi-Fi. There are always more games to be downloaded, so storage is incredibly important on the Steam Deck. And getting a nice micro SD card is the easiest way to expand your games library. There are a lot of options, but you want to make sure that you get one that has the fastest read and write simultaneously speeds. This will ensure the best experience. When you're ready for more, you can always swap out the internal SSD with a larger SSD. Now, I tried this a while ago and failed miserably. You can watch the 3-part series right here, but Valve was incredibly helpful and sent me a brand new Steam Deck. I have an entire video showcasing how to do it and all the mistakes I learned in screwing it up the first time. So you can watch that video and get yourself a larger SSD. The top of the line Steam Deck comes with an anti-glare screen. But if you don't want to pay for the larger, more expensive Steam Deck, but you do want that anti-glare screen, you can just buy a screen protector that has anti-glare in it. It's kind of like a little trick and hack to cheaply get a Steam Deck with the anti-glare. If you want to improve your grip and add some style, you can always add little joystick caps. It's an easy way to add some flair to your Steam Deck while also adding the benefit of grip. And again, because we can never have enough storage, picking up a nice little external SSD for more storage is an awesome option. There are lots and lots of options, so just pick whichever one you feel most comfortable with. I like these little SanDisks because of how small and thin and lightweight they are. I've even put tape on it, and then I just stick it to the back of my Steam Deck, and the cable can just wrap around and plug in. You may have already noticed the next thing, which is a protective case. You don't want to bang this bad boy up, and I love this JSAUX case that comes with this built-in heavy-duty metal kickstand. It's so convenient to be able to just set the Steam Deck down and have it in a better viewing position, while also keeping it nice and protected. I thought it was gonna bulk up my Steam Deck to the point where I wouldn't like it, but I kind of like it more. And it definitely keeps it nice and safe. External batteries. We're always a little on edge about how long the battery's going to last, especially when we're on trips, maybe on a long flight. And so there are so many options out there, and they all do different things. But the two that I keep coming back to are the simple Anker just brick battery bank. It has a nice screen readout of all the information that you would ever need, and 2 USB C plugins. It's lightweight, really high quality build, and does exactly what I need it to do. But the other option that I really like is Viture's, because it's also a hub. This can be used for more than just a battery bank, but it's a phenomenal battery bank that's really thin and comes with an awesome case that attaches onto the back of the Steam Deck. And it does a much better job of keeping the balance distributed across the back of the Steam Deck, where a lot of the other options are like these giant fatty bricks that just attach onto the back, leaving you with the weight distribution while you're holding the Steam Deck very uncomfortable. The Viture battery pack and USB hub solves all of those issues. When you need extra protection, but you want to keep a really low profile while traveling, JSAUX has the perfect solution. I use this every time I travel. I don't put my Steam Deck in a big bulky case. I just take this top cover in combination with my already on case onto my Steam Deck, and now this bad boy is super protected, and I just throw it in my bag and don't worry about it, and it keeps it essentially the same exact size. So now it's not taking up a bunch of extra room in my bag. I love this solution. If you're worried about your USB-C port getting clogged up and dirty, consider just buying a cheap little plug that will keep it nice and clean, so when you're ready to plug it in, you will have no issues. If you're into customization, there are so many skins that you can put onto your Steam Deck, making it look however you would like. Dbrand is just one of the brands that comes to mind, but there's a lot of options out there, so just make sure that you look at the reviews and make sure it's the type of skin that you want on your Steam Deck. Not all USB-C cables are made equal. There are so many variants of these cables, it's ridiculous. You want to make sure that you're buying high quality, nice cables that will do all the things that you need it to do. Does it pass through video? Does it charge at a high rate? Will it last? All these things need to be taken into consideration. This is more on the cheaper end, but I like that it has a screen and it will tell me the power draw that's happening. It's just kind of handy, especially when I'm tinkering around with my devices, seeing what kind of wattage is coming out of different devices. Talking about high quality cables, I don't think there's anything out there that beats these bad boys. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but AOHI cables are incredible. They make a bunch of different types of packs. The cables are modular, so you can make them longer or shorter or whatever your needs are to accommodate the situation that you're in. And they do everything, like up to 240 watts of charging, all the bells and whistles, and the quality is just unmatched. With all the cables that you have to carry around, having little cable organizers is really handy. Some cables already come with them, which is great. I just use the one that comes with it. However, you can always go out and find yourself some high quality cable organizers as well, like these ones. Another really handy thing to have in your backpack are these 90-degree angle USB-C to USB-C adapters. When you want to keep your cable management clean, it's just nice to have the option to throw this guy on a cable and wrap the cable around back your devices as opposed to just sticking straight up. Make sure that it does all the things that you want it to do. This might sound obvious, but having a simple little cleaning cloth. This is a touchscreen device, so you're always getting your grimy hands all over it. And it's always nice to just be able to wipe it down and keep it nice and clean. Nothing fancy. Most of the time, I just keep the ones that come with devices that I buy. I don't think I've ever bought one of these before. Something I wanted to be able to do for a long time is use my Steam Deck as a laptop. I wanted to be able to just have a laptop experience and just with a single cable plug in, and then my Steam Deck could be on the table if I wanted it to, or I could just keep it in my bag, making sure that there's well ventilation so it's not overheating, of course. I think I found the best solution I have ever seen. I picked up this keyboard that's actually made for the Microsoft Surface, and what makes it so unique are these little brackets right here. And then I hunted all over the internet and bought many different external monitors until I found this bad boy. I needed something that was the same depth as the Microsoft Surface, and this came so incredibly close, and it works great. You literally just take your external monitor and you shove it in to these little brackets. And then you essentially close like a laptop, and it's super thin. And then when you want to use it, you can just pull it open and there you go. This is when that 90-degree angle plug comes in handy, because now I can plug this in with a single cable on the side right here, and you don't even notice that it's there. We can then run that to the Steam Deck, plug in your Steam Deck with a single cable, and now I have a laptop experience without having to buy a laptop, because these handheld devices are becoming so incredibly powerful that something like the ROG Ally is running Windows, and this is as powerful as any laptop anyways. So being able to convert it into a mobile working station has been a game changer. Everything worked. The keys feel amazing. I'm actually very excited about how this turned out. And I think a lot of other people will be excited about it as well. So I'll make sure that these exact items are linked below. I got both of them on Amazon. The only thing that I don't like about this screen, the built-in speakers are pretty garbage, but at least they have speakers, I suppose. I typically stop using the speakers on this and just use the speakers on the Steam Deck because the Steam Deck speakers are just that much better than this monitor's built-in speakers. But this trackpad and keys, I don't even know if that's good. I don't think I've ever taken a typing test, but 54 words per minute, and I'm like awkwardly standing and it's not at the right. It feels great. I actually really like this keyboard. But yeah, that is my mobile laptop solution that I also included this little guy so I can slap my phone on here and then plug my phone into it in dock mode as well. Something that I swap out right away is the included battery bank because they're massive and just messy. There's a few options out there, but I have been loving this little Anker charging solution. It also comes with multiple ports. So when I'm traveling, I can charge multiple things at night. And it's so itty bitty tiny. Look at how nice this is. And this flips in and out. So also peace of mind when I'm traveling that it's not stabbing stuff or breaking in my bag. But it's literally almost half the size of a conventional charging brick that comes with a device that doesn't have the flexibility of different cables. So yeah, these are great to have around, but I replace it with one of these. When you're out and about and you need to throw the Steam Deck into a bag, there are lots of options out there, but if you want something that is dedicated for your Steam Deck, here are two pretty good options. I think, just to throw it out there, I like this one more. It's a little more versatile and can fit more in it, and it actually doesn't seem to be it might be smaller. The benefit of the JSAUX is that it's a bit of a hard cover, and the inside has a bunch of little pockets and gizmos so that you can keep everything nice and organized. But when it comes to where you put your Steam Deck, this case is gonna keep it very, very protected. It's got a perfectly cut out groove just for the Steam Deck, which is a benefit if you only have the Steam Deck, but it's kind of a downer if you've got other handheld devices because they are not really gonna fit in here perfectly. You could force them in, but they're just not gonna fit right into the groove. So for a Steam Deck, amazing. And this is going to keep it very protected. I just found that you can't fit a lot into this, so as it might make a good day pack just for your Steam Deck and maybe a few other things, you're really not gonna be able to cram it with any other stuff. Zentek just created this new backpack, and it is a cute little baby backpack that has this super nice, velvety, soft interior where I would feel comfortable enough throwing my device with no case on it right inside that little kangaroo pouch. It's just so nice and warm and protected inside here. I really, really enjoy this bag, and it's actually quite large. You can fit a bunch of stuff inside here. A keyboard and mouse setup is really handy, especially when you're in desktop mode and doing a little bit more intensive work style activities on your Steam Deck. I've just been using this Razer, cheap, but seems pretty nice. It's not wireless or anything, but that's why it was more affordable. But it's pretty easy to just slap this on, get a mouse going, and be able to use it. If you wanted something way smaller and compact, they make even like foldable devices, whatever to your liking. But a keyboard and mouse solution is definitely a must on the Steam Deck. There are lots of options for hubs and docks for the Steam Deck nowadays. It seems that one of the most popular is this JSAUX docking solution. And it did great for me for a long time until just recently, and I think this cable has started to go. Not to mention, the little feet that they put on the bottom have just caused a disgusting little mess on the bottom. Other than that, I have been daily using this since I had the Steam Deck, not the OLED. So it's gone through a lot of use, and it's definitely more affordable than the other options. And it's a good option, I would think, in the price range. I'm just kind of sad that it stopped working. But the real gem has just been sent to me by BenQ. They have just created their own take on a hub/docking solution, and it folds out into a dock. It's so premium feeling. It's so smart, and the cable hides back here and then comes out. It's got HDMI 2.1. Everything about this is so nice. It also includes a USB-C out, not just the power in, which is good to see. It's just a much more thought through hub dock solution than I've seen before. And I'm really excited to have it. And I think if you're in the market for a more top of the line docking solution, this one is probably one of the best choices out there. It also includes the little 90-degree angle. So if you want to use it on the ground as just like a hub, you can. But if you want to use it as the docking station, you can then use the 90-degree angle and plug it in. But honestly, I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy they made this so much better. I feel better traveling too, having this tucked away where it can just throw it into my bag and not have to worry about it. Something worth noting is that it works well with the Steam Deck, even with a case on it, but it does not fit with the Steam Deck's chunkier cousin, the Ally X. Like, it just can't fit, which is really sad. If you were like willing to just kind of risk it and have it float there, you could. A bit of a bummer, but also why I like that it can just be used as a hub. I have a 4K 120 Hertz TV, and so having this HDMI 2.1 is really, really appreciated. A must-have for every Steam Deck owner is a controller. Now, as you can see, I'm a little biased maybe with the 8BitDo controllers, but I just find that they're the most affordable and best controller options out there. Front and center is the 8BitDo Viture collaboration because look at it. They did such a good job of making the color scheme perfectly match the Steam Deck. I really wish I had the limited edition Steam Deck just because of this controller. But if you want to pick this controller up, I actually have a 10% off discount code. If you use Joshua Gray at checkout, you can pick this up for 10% off. And I use this all the time. It's a phenomenal controller. If you want to get some retro gaming on, 8BitDo has all the types of controllers for all the different systems. But yeah, this is great. A Super Nintendo controller that you can just Bluetooth connect to any device. Perfect. And then if you're looking for a more premium option, the 8BitDo Ultimate Bluetooth solution is the choice. I love the dock that it comes with. It plugs in USB-C and has charging. So when you put your controller down, it automatically starts to charge. So every time you pick it up to use it, it is ready to go. It also has higher quality buttons and of course the 2 paddle buttons on the back, which are incredibly useful in so many games. So if you want to shell out a little bit extra to get the ultimate controller, literally, the 8BitDo Ultimate is a incredible option. But if you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, but still incredible and looks insane, I would consider the Viture 8BitDo controller. This collab is kind of cool because they took the cheaper Switch model controller, but they swapped out the buttons so that it actually fits for the Steam Deck better. And then we can all have a more affordable option controller that works phenomenally. You could just skip everything else in this video, forget about all of it. Just get yourself a Steam Deck and then the Viture XR Pro glasses. These are by far my favorite accessory to the Steam Deck. Like nothing even comes close. They put a giant 135-inch screen in front of your face that's full HD at 120 Hertz. I have an entire video about these, and if you're interested at all or just want to know more about what they are like, go ahead and check out that video. I spent a lot of time going thoroughly through what I thought about these glasses because they are an absolute game changer. I use them all the time. If you'd like to pick up any of the Viture products, make sure to use my code Joshua Gray. You'll get 10% off all the accessories and it helps me out a lot. I will be able to make more videos if you use my code when you buy stuff, and you're getting a discount, so it's a win-win. You're gonna, of course, want some headphones to pair with your Steam Deck. Some over-ear and some earbuds are two essentials that you're gonna wanna have. Sorry that these are so gross, but I've had them for so many years and I just have not had the need to update them because they do everything I need them to do. The Bose noise canceling headphones have been so solid for so many years, and I just like that they can fold up like this and nicely fit into my backpack situation. The only thing I've ever had to swap out are these little ear muffs, and I think I've done that 2 or 3 times in the, I don't even know how many years, like so many years that I've had these. And the battery just lasts forever. And if they are dying, you can just plug it in and they charge up super quick. I'm not saying that you should get these. I'm sure there are better options now. If you're in the market, you could buy like a newer set. But if you wanted to save some money, I can tell you these are still phenomenal in 2024. So you could probably get these a lot cheaper than I did when I bought them. Now that they're making noise canceling earbuds, I found that when I'm traveling, I pretty much always just bring these with me. This just takes up so much real estate in my bags, and these are so comfortable and do such a good job that I don't need anything else. And they're just so tiny. And also, battery lasts forever, sound quality is great. So I'd highly recommend noise canceling earbuds to go along with your Steam Deck. A really quick and convenient way to get your Steam Deck plugged into an external monitor or the TV in your living room is just one of these simple USB-C to HDMI cables. You can just leave it plugged into the monitor or TV that you want, and then just plug this one cable in and immediately be set up to be playing on a bigger display. It makes for a really simple, clean setup instead of having to use a dongle or a docking solution if all you want to do is just quickly plug in to an external display. If you got a VR or the Meta Quest sitting around, it might be worth checking out some of the solutions where you can actually use the Steam Deck with your VR headset. I've tested it out a few different times. It's pretty cool. I'm sure some people could find it incredibly useful and a lot of fun. Installing Heroic Game Launcher is a must if you have a game library in Epic Games. It's very simple to just go in, search it, and install this software. And then you have a very clean, simple, easy way to manage all the games in your Epic library. Installing an anime game launcher is a great way to make sure that you can get all your games like Genshin Impact installed on your device. If you want to check out a video of how I use this to install Genshin, I have a full-length video and I'll link that below. Emudeck is the one-stop shop to turn your Steam Deck into an emulation machine. It handles everything for you, making it a lot more streamlined, getting everything set up on your Steam Deck for emulation. Again, this is something that I've made a video about, and I'll link it below if you want to try installing this on your Steam Deck. If you're looking for plugins and ways to mod your Steam Deck, Decky Loader seems to be the place to go. When you install Decky Loader, it unlocks a ton of features on your Steam Deck. Setting a lock pen code on your device is kind of a must. If you have logged into Google or anything like that, this is a full-fledged computer, and if somebody stole it from you, they could gain access to so much of your information that it is not worth not putting a PIN code on. Okay, that's my spiel. Maybe if you're at home, you could turn it off, but anytime you leave the house with this thing, you should definitely turn it on. Enabling it is incredibly simple. Hit the Steam button, go to settings, and then right there, security. And you can turn it on to whatever level you want, but at minimum, system wake and power on, and then you can set your PIN. It's as easy as that. If you want to quickly change the brightness of your screen, just hit the 3 dots and then go down or up, and it will adjust the brightness of your screen. Something I use all the time are the on-screen metrics to show me everything that's going on. To pull them up, you just click the 3 buttons on the side here, go down to the little lightning bolt, and then performance overlay levels. And they have a few different options. I typically use number 2, which shows across the top all the information that you could need. This is the section where you can dial in what you want out of your Steam Deck. You can frame limit, you can limit the TDP, manually adjust how much of the GPU is being used. A bunch of different options are right in here. Another thing to keep an eye on is if your firmware is up to date. Hit the Steam button, go to settings, and then just go to system and check for updates. Steam is constantly improving this device, and so it's always good to make sure that you're up to date. You can also check out their stable, beta, and preview versions at your own will. If you're looking to optimize for the best battery life, you can click the 3 dots, go over the little lightning bolt, frame limit the game to 30 frames per second, and then you can limit the TDP until it's as low as you can get it before it's not hitting that 30 frames per second anymore. This will ensure that you are getting the best and longest battery life performance. One of the benefits of Steam is their cloud saving so that you can hop between devices, desktop, and all that good stuff. Make sure that it is on. Go into settings, scroll all the way down to cloud. It should automatically be enabled, but if it's not, just make sure to click that on. If you need to get onto Windows for some reason and you don't want to take up any of the internal storage space, don't worry, you can actually create a bootable external drive. When the Steam Deck is off, you can just hold the minus button and power it on. This will bring you to the boot manager. Now that we're in boot manager, you see that this drive is showing up. If you just select it, it's now going to boot into Windows. And just like that, we now have a full-fledged Windows operating system on the Steam Deck. So if there are any games that you couldn't get running, now there should be no problems as it is running natively Windows. Customizing the keys on the Steam Deck is incredibly simple, and we have these 4 extra buttons which come in handy all the time. But you can customize the keys per the game that you're playing. So in Elden Ring, I actually use this all the time. You can pick through a ton of different options of pre-made controller layouts, but then also the quick settings. If you enable the back grip buttons right here, you can just change these to any buttons that you want them to be on the back. I've set this up in Elden Ring so that when I'm summoning Torrent, it doesn't have to be where I have to take my hands off the controllers, because I'm typically running away from a bad guy and then you have to take your hands off these, hit Y, and then the D-pad right button just to get him to summon. By that time, I'm already dead. So I've changed it where now all I have to do is hit these buttons on the back and he gets summoned. So I can be running and bam, hit those buttons and he comes wisping me away. Something you can do is overclocking your Steam Deck. Now this is something I have never done, and I have watched a lot of videos of people who have done it, and I'm not convinced that the performance increase is worth all the efforts and potential downsides of overclocking. But it is absolutely something that you can do on the Steam Deck. If you want to go extremely overkill on your Steam Deck, you can actually take the whole back apart, take out your SSD, and then build yourself an external GPU. This enables you to have the craziest performance possible on the Steam Deck. But as far as I am concerned, there is not a good solution for a plug and play eGPU for the Steam Deck yet. And I'm really hoping that the Steam Deck 2 gives us Thunderbolt so that we can do this. This might not seem like a trick or a tip, but Valve's support is incredible. You can see in the video where I destroyed my Steam Deck, and the Valve support team walked me through everything, and then they actually just sent me a brand new OLED Steam Deck, because when I was swapping out my SSD, I somehow bricked the device. But the support team was incredible and helped me through it step by step. Your game libraries can start to become unwieldy, especially when you start getting into the emulation scene. But you can go to your libraries and create collections so that everything can stay nice and organized. Another absolute must is going into desktop mode and then opening up Steam and say add a non-Steam game. So this allows you to add any application inside of Steam. So let's just do something simple like adding a web browser. You can just click that, add selected program, and now it becomes available inside of Steam, which means we can now return to gaming mode. Now that we're back in the gaming mode, we can do a quick little search for Firefox, and there it is. So now we can just launch it right in here. And just like that, we now no longer have to jump into desktop mode just to use an application like a web browser. You can customize the settings per the game that you're playing for the Steam Deck. I do this for most all of my games. If you click the 3 buttons, go to the little lightning bolt, make sure that user per game profile is selected on. This will automatically remember all the settings that you change on the side here, so that every time you load into the game, it will remember all the settings that you prefer per this game. I hope you found that insightful. Please leave a comment below of anything that I may have forgotten that you think I should have included on this list. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.